Hello everyone, this is Gio Panazon from Compass Publishing, and today I'm going to go over our pre-K KG course book, Treehouse. What I'm going to do is go through multiple lessons, and these lessons are actually within Unit 5 of the first book of Treehouse. And the reason why I say multiple lessons is there's not a real specific amount of lessons because we designed Treehouse to fit your course. So whether you're having your students meet twice a week for 30 minutes or meeting 4 times a week for 60 minutes, you're going to simply be able to identify the amount of time that you need, and then you're going to be able to apply that towards Treehouse. And Treehouse is going to be able to meet what you need. So, as I said, we're going to cover Unit 5 from Book 1. And the materials that you're going to need for today's session include audio CD, the Unit 5 song poster, flashcards, crayons, your teacher's guide, the teacher's CD, a soft bouncy ball. And let me also mention that it's not absolutely necessary for you to have the teacher's guide, but today's demo lesson is provided due to the teacher's guide. So a very important aspect of teaching this unit is being able to actually identify what's going to be covered in this unit. So let's go ahead and start off with covering our unit objectives. Our story words will be basketball, make, and win. Okay? Then our first set of vocabulary words are going to be about body parts. So these words are going to be body, arms, hands, and legs. And they're going to fit within the structure of robots need hands. I have hands. Then our second set of vocabulary words will be verbs. These are catch, run, bounce, jump, throw. And that will fall in the structure of catch the ball. We're also going to learn about the color red, the rectangle as a shape, the number 5, and the phonetic sound of R, so r, r. Then each unit will include a CLIL section. If you're not familiar with CLIL, it's an acronym for Content Language Integrated Learning. It's where we learn to discuss about something learners may already be familiar with in their native language, their L1. And what it effectively does is opens the door for them to think about that topic in their non-native language, their L2. So learners are essentially going to be connecting the dots in their brain, having these little aha moments. So for this unit, we will discuss the game of basketball. Then we move into our values. It's important that children are also learning about the duty of being a good person. So we're going to address the need of playing fair. For the learning outcomes, it's very important that students leave this unit knowing the general topics of basketball and robots. They should also be able to distinguish between various body parts and actions. We break it down to the individual skills. First off, they should be able to focus on their listening skill, and they should be able to comprehend the various sports movements. They should be able to recognize the name and the phonetic sound of the letter R. For speaking, students should be able to say the different parts of their bodies. They also need to be able to say the different verbs of the unit. They should be able to say big R and small r, and the phonetic sound They should also be able to count to 5. Now, when it comes to reading, they should be able to recognize the number 5, rectangle shapes, and vocabulary pictures to sing. They should also be able to read the letters big R and little r. Now, for writing, students should be able to trace rectangle shapes and write the numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, as well as write big and small r. A real great way to achieve optimal outcome from all of these skills is by using a special methodology called TPR. If you're not really familiar with TPR, it's an acronym for Total Physical Response. And what this does is allow students who are at a very low level to communicate and be able to express themselves, because maybe they don't know the verbal word of how to say something, but you know what? They understand what you're saying. And by reacting in a physical manner, they're telling you that they understand. And this helps build their confidence and helps fuel their understanding and want and desire to learn English. Let's get started with the beginning of Unit 5. First thing you'll want to do for pages 58 and 59 is point to the character and ask your students, what's her name? You're going to want to list the response, her name is Anna. The next step you're going to want to do is get your flashcards. And you're going to use the flashcards from Unit 4 to review and use the flashcards from Unit 5 that include basketball, make, robot, and win. Review each of these vocabulary words with your students. Go through it a number of times until you feel comfortable that they understand. After you introduce the 4 words with the flashcards, place the flashcards next to each other on the board with the pictures facing the students. Point at each flashcard again and say each word to ask the students to repeat after you. Then call students up one by one and randomly say one of the words. Tell the students to point at the words you say. Use your native language if necessary. Now we'll focus on the story introduction. First, play audio track 30 from the CD. After listening to track 30, check the student's comprehension. It's okay if you use your native language to ask these questions. So, what game are they playing is one great question, and your student should reply basketball. Another question to ask is, what does Anna need to teach? To which your students reply, the robots. Keep asking these questions until you feel confident your students understand the basic setting, characters, and introduction to the plot of the story. Now, tell your students that you will play track 30 once again. Play the track and pause it several times and check to see if students know who the characters are. For example, after Anna says, "Hi everyone, it's me, Anna." Pause the track and ask the students which character Anna is. After listening to track 30 a second time, point to the story box. Tell the students that they need to help Anna. Explain to the students that in order to help Anna, they must do 3 things listed in the story box. Move on to using your flashcards to teach the students the color red. Ask them to say the word red. Ask students to point to the robot with the red shirt in the books. This will be helpful. They'll be able to identify which one that is. Then use a flashcard to teach the students the number 5. Ask students to find and circle the number 5 in the illustration. Then move on by using the flashcard to teach the students what a rectangle is. Ask them to find the rectangle in the illustration. Then move on to using the flashcards to preview the words on the next page. Here you'll point to Anna and the different robots to learn the body parts and vocabulary words. You can further continue by moving on to our workbook. Please allow 10 to 20 minutes, and you can complete the expansion and fun activities listed on the bottom of page 59 to extend this lesson. Have students complete page 26 of the activity book. For page 60, we're going to want to warm up. Ask the students to remember what Anna needs to make the robot. Tell the students that in order to help Anna make the robots, they need to put together the robot bodies. Use your native language as necessary in this situation. And then you can further move on to using the flashcards with the new words listed on the page. Let's move on to the practice section of page 60. You're going to tell your students to repeat after you as you use the flashcards and say, body, arms, hands, and legs. Then move on to using the song poster to preview the student lyrics of the song. Next, move on to track 31 and listen to the song. Pause the audio track after each line together. Repeat the line to the students and ask them to repeat after you. Point at the words on the poster. After listening to track 31, distribute one flashcard per student Tell the students that when they hear the words on their flashcards in the song, they should hold the flashcards over their heads. This will be very fun, and students will be able to really interact with the activity. Then move on to your wrap-up section. Please allow 10 to 20 minutes for your students to, again, listen to the song, but this time they can do simple actions to mimic the vocabulary words that we've learned. So for the body, they can shake their body. For arms, they can move their arms. For their hands and legs, they can do the same. And each time those vocabulary words are used, they can interact, which will make for a very fun and educational activity. As a warm-up for page 61, review the target words by using your flashcards and then moving into playing the song from the previous page. You can also use your song poster to help students review the activity. For the practice section of page 61, use your flashcards to review the target vocabulary again. Hold up the flashcards and ask your students to repeat after you as you say the words on the flashcard. Repeat the activity, but ask the students to say the word without repeating after you. This is effective because now they'll have to think on it by themselves. Then put the flashcards on the board, call individual students to the front of the class, and see how many of the target words they can identify. Offer hints and assistance to help students who may be struggling. Then randomly hold up a flashcard and say the word robots need, and then elicit a response from the students to say, I have, and then they'll use one of their vocabulary words. Then you're going to want to look at the stickers on the back of the book for page 61 and review the names of the body parts again with the students. Reinforce the knowledge of vocabulary by telling this class to point to either the body, the hands, the arms, or the legs. Then tell the students that they will make a robot using the stickers for the page from the back of the book. Direct their attention to the robot on page 60 as a model for them to follow. You may also want to teach the word head. You can also model this activity with the Interactive Teacher CD. It's a good idea to put it together for the students on the Interactive Teacher CD projected and allow them to see exactly what needs to happen. Then they'll be able to move on and put the robot together themselves.
Body. Arms. Arms. Hands. Hands. Legs. Legs.
For the wrap-up on page 61, review the target vocabulary with your flashcards and the structure by having students talk about the robot they made. This will be very effective for them to use it in sentences. Help guide their speaking. You can further move on by having students complete page 27 of the activity book. For page 62, go ahead and review the story from pages 58 and 59. Then go ahead and use the flashcards for the words that are now on page 62: catch, run, bounce, jump, and throw. After teaching the students the meaning of each of these words, use the softball that we mentioned earlier and practice these words. First, practice with the words catch, bounce, and throw. Next, do a TPR activity with the students in which they run and jump in place to learn the words run and jump. For the practice section on page 62, inform your students that they'll now listen to the chant. Review the flashcards for the verbs on this page, and then play audio track 32. After listening to the chant, distribute one flashcard per student. Tell the students that when they hear the word on their flashcard in the chant, they should hold the flashcard over their head. Put 2 different flashcards from the chant on the table. Invite a student to come to the table. Tell the student to listen and point to the correct flashcard. For example, place the flashcards for the words catch and throw on the table. Invite a student to the front of the class, tell them, catch the ball, and let the student point at the correct flashcard. To wrap up, listen to the chant one more time and tell the students to do the TPR dance, where they can actually pretend like they're imitating a basketball game. This will be really fun and allows them to really demonstrate what they know. For page 63, review the target words by playing the chant from the previous page. Also, make sure that you're discussing the plot of the story. It's a big element of Treehouse that the students are continuously moving the plot and learning at the same time. So tell the students that they need to teach the robots how to play basketball. For the practice section, go ahead and review with your students the flashcards catch, run, bounce, jump, and throw. Then inform your students that they will need to listen and trace the dotted lines in the correct order to finish the page. From the Digital Classroom's Material CD, demonstrate this activity in front of your students on the interactive whiteboard.
Listen, trace, and say. Oh, hi there. The robots are learning how to play basketball. We need to teach the robots how to play. Can you help me teach the robots? You can? Great! Thank you! Okay. First, catch the ball, robots. Catch! Good, good. All right. Next, run, robots. Run. Draw the line. Great. All right. Next, bounce the ball, robots. Bounce. Draw the line. Very good. Now, jump, robots, jump. Draw the line. Excellent. Last, throw the ball, robots, throw. Draw the line. Terrific. Terrific. Let's go get ready.
When listening to track 33, pause the audio after you hear the character say, catch the ball, robots, catch. Help the students locate the red icons for the word catch in group 1 on the page. Then tell the students to put their pencils on the catch icon and say, catch the ball. Start to play track 33 again and pause the audio after you hear the character say, run, robots, run. Draw the line. Then tell the students to point at the run icon on the page in group 2 and say, run. Then tell the students to draw the line from the catch icon to the run icon. Repeat this for groups 3, 4, and 5 on the page. After completing the tracing activity, Listen to track 33 again as a class. Talk about what happens in the audio. Remind them that they need to help Anna teach the robots and continue the plot as it goes. To wrap up, have your students play a game of memory with 2 sets of flashcards. Then move on to have your students complete page 28 of the activity book. For page 64, go ahead and review the target words by playing the song and then the chant from the previous pages. Then use the flashcards to help students review the words. For the practice section, it's an excellent way to review what's happened so far in the story. So far, we've made the robots and taught them how to play basketball. You should review this with your students. You should also review your vocabulary words as well. Then tell the students to look at page 64 in the student book. Ask them, what do you see? And your students should reply, I see robots. Then go ahead and review the body part vocabulary with the students. Tell the students that they need to help the characters in the story get ready for the basketball game. Go ahead and play audio track 34 and pause the audio track as needed to make sure the students understand what is happening and that they are following the directions being given in the audio track, i.e., put your pencil near the robot with the red body. Again, this is a great way to demonstrate using your digital classroom material. Show the students the upward and downward motion needed in order to draw the straight line. Very important for young learners. As a wrap-up, ask your students if they can draw a picture of a robot with a red body part. Have the students practice writing their names in English on their picture. On page 65, warm up by using flashcards to help the students review the words. Review what has happened in the story so far, and then on page 65, together as a class, ask the students, what do you see? And then have them provide the appropriate response of, I see a robot, and the robot has red arms. Very important that they know this. When demonstrating for your students, make sure that your students say big R, and then place the sticker on the sticker location, but on the interactive whiteboard material. Do this for both the big R and the little r. After your students have placed their stickers on the page, have them repeat the sound to then move on to say red. To wrap up, have the students complete page 29 in the activity book. You can also sing the alphabet song from page 5 in the activity book as well. Ask the students to find the letter big R. To warm up on page 66, use the flashcards to review the following words: yellow, orange, blue, red, green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and robot. Then you can move on to sing either the song or chant and do the TPR dance to help review. For this practice section, we're going to be focusing on the numbers, also colors as well. So tell your students to look at page 66 in the student book and point to illustration of the red robot in the box. Ask your students, what do you see? To what they can respond with, it's a red robot. And you can tell them the answer if they don't know. Then go ahead and point to the red robots in illustration and ask the students, how many red robots? Hopefully they're going to respond with 5. Then show the students how to count to 5 with their fingers. Repeat this for the green robots and the blue robots as well. You can move on to showing your students how to write the number 5 on the board. Then have them trace in their books. Then you can count the red, green, and blue robots again in the picture and help the students to write the numbers in the boxes. As a wrap-up, ask your students what the orange balls are called near the robots. Ask them, how many basketballs? Hopefully they can respond with 5. Then move on to page 30 of the activity book. On page 67 for the warm-up, quickly review each page of the unit. Review the characters, the plot, and the settings of the unit so far, which has us making robots and then teaching them how to play basketball. So you can also ask your students comprehension questions like, what's her name? Or what do you see? As you go through previous pages of the unit. Help the students locate the stickers from the page in the back of the book. Talk about what each sticker is. Then go ahead and play the audio track while looking at the page. Let the students look at the story and help them focus on the correct frame of the comic strip that matches each part of the audio track. Pause the track after you hear the characters say, blue arms. Ask the students what the character said. Tell them the answer if needed. Then you can tell them, get the blue arms sticker. Help them locate the stickers, again in the back of the book, and add the blue arm sticker to the sticker blank in frame 1. Start the audio again. Repeat this for frame 3 when you hear the character say, hey, number 5, throw the ball. So play the track again from the beginning and ask the students to repeat the lines from the story. Then help the students locate the stickers in the back of the book for page 67 again. You can tell them to choose a different part of the body or a different part of the body sticker and a different sports verb sticker to change the story. So you really allow them to customize this and have a sense of something they've done themselves, a sense of accomplishment and a form of creativity. So to wrap up this section, after all the students have added different stickers to frame 1 and frame 3, let students take a turn saying the words. So the student can say blue and hey, number 5. Answers will vary depending on the different stickers students have added. Then move on to page 31 of the activity book and have them complete this.
For page 68, what we're doing now is jumping into our CLIL section, our Content Language Integrated Learning. So what you can do is, prior to really engaging in this page, go ahead and review the different types of sports verbs with the students using the flashcards. Then sing a chant from page 62 in the student book. And then this can be followed with a review of the numbers 1 through 5 with your flashcards. So for practice, explain to the students that to play basketball, you need 5 people on a team. These are very basic understandings, but children need to have this basic understanding for things like basketball. Explain to them that you need to have 5 people working together, and have your students even count the number of students they see on the page or players they see on the page. And they can also start off by counting the number of robots they see on page 62. Then you can point and count together with the students. You can then come back to page 68 after you've looked at the robots on 62 and look at the big picture with the 5 players on the team. Count the players with the students. Then look at the smaller pictures on one by one with the students and count the players in each picture. If the picture has 5 players, circle the picture, but if it has a different number of players, cross out that picture. As a wrap-up, complete the expansion activity listed at the bottom of the page that says, count the number of robot players from the pictures in the story. Draw your own team. On page 69, warm up by reviewing the story previously read at the end of the unit. Then take turns with the students reading the lines in the story out loud. Let the students pretend to be different characters from the story. When practicing with the section, use illustrations throughout the unit to talk with the students about playing basketball. Explain to your students that the characters must play fair. Use your native language if this is necessary when discussing what fair means. But you know what? Go ahead and make sure that students learn the English word fair, because it's quite important. And then ask the students how the characters in the story play. And then when you're done with that, look at the activity on the page and then look on the activity on the page in the student book and discuss the 2 pictures. You can ask the students to point at the picture that shows children playing fair and which one does not. Complete the matching activity accordingly. To wrap up, go ahead and complete the expansion activity, which says talk about good and bad ways to play games and sports. And then they can move on by drawing a picture. Well, that sums it up for Unit 5. I hope you enjoyed, and we'd like to make many more of these. So please stay tuned and have a fantastic day.